Oh, hello. Today we have a book haul, but a pretty modest book haul today. A petite book haul, if you will. I broke these into 4 categories of books that I've read already, books that I got a sequel to, books that were recommended or given to me, and then a random one for a project that I couldn't slot in somewhere else. So yeah, just a cute little haul. Let's start with the one rando one for a secret TBR, which you guys will be seeing. I'm not sure if you'll be seeing it this coming week or the week after, sometime soon. We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Berry. This was recommended to me for reasons I can't tell you about yet. And I actually know almost nothing about this other than I've seen it around BookTube from a few different people and seem to be getting good reviews. I know it has something to do with witches and something to do with hockey, and that's all I know. So we'll see how it goes. And then a few books that I've already read. 2 pre-orders came in. One is Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse, which I really enjoyed. I think that this is not, I said this at the time, I have a feeling that I'm going to be one of the people who likes this best, which is fine. It's okay. I do really enjoy this, and I'm so excited for the next book. Like, I love this world. I love it all. This is high fantasy in a Mesoamerican, like pre-Columbian inspired fantasy world. We get a new POV in this one. We have a lot of like resetting of the plot to spin up the next one. And I feel like there's a lot of interesting stuff about religion in this. So I was very happy with this. We'll see how everyone else does. Also, Go Hex Yourself by Jessica Clare. This is just such a fun paranormal romance featuring witches from the person who is rapidly becoming, I would say, is Jessica Clare my favorite romance author? She's definitely up there. She would be like a top 3 for me. I mean, so she writes as Jessica Clare, Ruby Dixon, and Jill Miles, and Jessica Sims, and I just love what she does in all of them. This is a hate to love-ish, more like a, God, I'm annoyed by you, but I can't stop thinking about how I want to lick your freckles, like that kind of vibe. And I don't know, they're both kind of stupid, but in ways that are very relatable. There's a hexed cat, there's like international witch intrigue, and I'm very much hoping this gets a spinoff because I want to read about 2 people who we met in this book. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Oh yeah, then we have The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince. I read this as a part of a buddy read with Leanna from Leanna's library because we were told that we needed to read this before reading Fool's Errand, which I strongly agree with. I would also tell you that if you are looking to get a taste of Hobb, like a little soupçon of kind of her writing style, vibe, things that might be triggering to you in her books, etc. I do think that this would be a good place to go because it is a novella. It, I think, is really important actually to set up what happens in the series. Like, I kind of wish I'd read this before I'd started Assassin's Apprentice, and I definitely think you should read this before reading Fool's Errand. So I think this could be a good place to start with Hobb. I really enjoyed it. Massive content warnings for animal cruelty. Very thematically interesting, I think. And then the last one that I've read is The Monogram Murders by Sophie Hannah from Agatha Christie's world. And this was commissioned by the Christie estate. It is using the Hercule Poirot character as the main character in it. And while I do not think that it is truly like Christie, it certainly is very clearly inspired by her. I mean, it's literally basically Agatha Christie fan fiction that's been commissioned. And I think if you can get to a place where you're divorcing in your mind that this needs to be like Christie and just try to enjoy this as a fun mystery set in the golden age of detective fiction type world, I think that this is really fun. I will read more of her Agatha Christie's. I wouldn't say it was great. I gave it like a 3.5, but you can see it in a blog where I talked all about it. Okay, and then maybe we'll go to like sequels or reading more from authors that I already know and enjoy. I guess considering we were just talking about her, we'll start here. Robin Hobb also writes as Megan Lindholm, and this is a collection of her short stories. And based on how much I love The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince, I was like, yeah, at some point I would love to read a collection of her short stories. So I know nothing about any of these. I do love got some curled up kitties here on the cover. She does write animals wonderfully. So yeah, we'll see how I do with this, but My ongoing love affair with Hobb will continue in that one. Then I got the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I didn't love A Good Girl's Guide to Murder as much as I had hoped that I would. I was hoping that would be like a 5-star book, but I did really enjoy it, and I'm interested to continue in the series. I've heard mixed reviews about the next 2 books in the trilogy, so we'll see how I do, but definitely wanted to go ahead and pick up a copy of the sequel. I probably should just go ahead and grab the 3rd one, and then I'll have a nice little set-a-roo. But yeah, so we'll keep going in that series. I then also got the first book in another series. Okay, we'll pick that up here in a second. I got the first book in another series from Tasha Suri called The Jasmine Throne because I really, really enjoyed Empire Sand. I thought that it was excellent. It totally lived up to the hype for me. 4.5 stars, very much enjoyed. And I know a lot of people, so I've heard that you should not necessarily continue with the duology of Empire Sand. I've not heard great things about the sequel, but I have heard really good things about The Jasmine Throne, which I believe is like a sapphic, and it's another one that's kind of a fantasy romance. Like, I would say Empire of Sand is a fantasy with strong romantic elements, and I think that this one is as well. It says, a ruthless princess seeking to steal a throne, a powerful priestess seeking to save her family. Together, they will set the empire ablaze. And so the world is like a high fantasy world, at least in the first one, and I believe in this one as well, that is based on sort of like South Asian influences. And yeah, I'm really excited to dip into this one. I found that I can only read like a big chonky fantasy. I can really only get through 1 or 2 of those a month. So I'll put this, I've got a few of them on my TBR. And so like at some point, this one will come in and it will be my turn to start a new series. But yeah, I'm excited for this. And then the one I dropped, which I'm gonna be ginger here because I accidentally strained my back when I was moving a piece of furniture yesterday. Oh God, man, I'll tell you what, after 25, it really is just all downhill with your back. I'm gonna pop my ice pack back on here. Ugh, getting older, but better than the alternative, as my father always used to say. Moving swiftly onwards, When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain by Niveau. So I really enjoyed The Empress of Salt and Fortune. I read that in March. And then the 3rd book in this series is gonna come out in, I wanna say September or October. So sometime before then. This is very short and I am excited to read this one. I think it is the same, yeah, it's the Cleric Chi. So they are still the main character, but it's a different area and a different kind of story, if I'm understanding correctly. So I'm excited to find out what this one's like, and I will be excited for the 3rd one to come out in the fall. And then these last 4 are all recommendations. So some of these we'll find out together what they're really about. First of all, I saw that Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey had a big price drop. I think this was like $9, so I went ahead and grabbed it. And I want to say that I saw this on Elizabeth's channel, Reading Riley. I feel like that's where I saw it. And I think that this, it's set in the Arctic, there's some sort of exploration. It says, propelled by a narrator as fierce and fragile as the turns she is following, Migrations is both an ode to our threatened world and a breathtaking page-turner about the lengths we will go to for the people we love. So I think it's sort of like a dystopian thriller ish, cool, I don't know. We'll find out whenever I get to this one. I think I saw it on Elizabeth's channel first, and then I saw it a couple of other places, and so when there was a price drop, I was like, sure, I'll try that one out. Okay, and then I was on a live stream with my friend Joshana. What were we talking about? I think it was like it was our World Hoppers Q1 best of, and she just sold the shit out of this. So Many Beginnings, a Little Women remix by Bethany C. Morrow, and I believe that this is a retelling of Little Women, YA, and our main characters are all formerly enslaved Black Americans. So it's a historical YA retelling, and Joshana just could not have sold this better if she tried. It's also not that long, so I don't feel like I love the original book, Little Women, as much as many people do, but I do like the story. I also love the recent adaptation. I think that it actually fixes some problems with the original source material. Controversial, I know. Anyway, so I am excited to get to this eventually with such a full-throated recommendation. And then I am recently obsessed with my friend Angela at Literature Science Alliance. I did like a whole rewatch all at once of her like series wrap up she does every quarter. She like talks about what she did read and what she's going to read. I just love it. It makes me want to start doing that. I don't know. Angela, I might steal your video idea. We'll see. I was watching that and I've always heard interesting things about Sarah Beth Durst as sort of I don't think that these are YA. It sounds like these are sort of high fantasy that are not as self-serious as a lot of high fantasy is. So and for that reason, I think it gets mistaken sometimes for YA. That's kind of the impression I've gotten. I may be totally wrong there. But she just finished this series, which is the book, or I think she finished. She's at least made significant progress on The Queens of Renthia. And I've always wanted to try Sarah Beth Durst, and Angela just sold the shit out of this one. So eventually, I also kind of like that it's not that long. Like comparatively, it looks like it's only like 350, 400 pages. Let's see here. An idealistic young student and a banished warrior become allies in a battle to save their realm in this first volume of a mesmerizing new epic fantasy series filled with political intrigue, violent magic, malevolent spirits, and thrilling adventure. Sold, right? That sounds like fun. So I will get to this one eventually. Oh, and it's got a Tamora Pierce recommendation. Sold even more. And then lastly, Leanna sent me a lovely gift, which is Zero Repeat Forever by G.S. Prendergast. And we were talking about this on some live stream we were doing. I can't remember which one. I think this is sci-fi. So I actually have not read the description, so let's read it together. He has no voice or name, only a rank, 8th. He doesn't know the details of the mission, only the directives that hum in his mind. Dart the humans, leave them where they fall. His job is to protect his offside, let her do the shooting, until a human kills her. 16-year-old Raven is at a summer camp when the terrifying armored Nax invade. Isolated in the wilderness, Raven and her fellow campers can only stay put, await rescue. Raven doesn't like feeling helpless, but what choice does she have? Then a Nax kills her boyfriend. Thrown together in a violent, unfamiliar world, 8th and Raven should hate and fear each other. But when Raven is injured and then 8th deserts his unit, their survival depends on trusting each other. Okay, so I'm guessing this is YA, considering she's 16 and at summer camp. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, Simon & Schuster, I feel like doesn't do a lot of YA, but maybe. Okay, so this seems like basically a sci-fi thriller? YA, question mark? I mean, the cover is iconic, and also she told me I needed to look, and I will show you. Ooh, shiny, look at that. So, I'm excited to get to this one. I'm thinking of doing a vlog where I read things she recommended to me. You guys can let me know if you think that would be fun. I think that might be fun. She's got, yeah, I feel like at least I've got 3 or 4 things around that she's either given to me and I've not gotten to yet, or she recommended and I picked up on her recommendation. So it might be kind of fun. Let me know. But anyway, thank you for the gift. Very lovely. And it's gonna get added to the TBR pile. Speaking of TBR, in terms of the net change for the month, let us pull up my little thing. Okay, so I added 14 books to my TBR and I removed 13. So for the month of April, I increased my TBR by 1, but for the year in total at this point, I am still down 7. So we're still doing pretty good. Good job, Mara. I do think mood reading has allowed me to mood read from my TBR more. And I also wonder if the fact that I'm telling you guys about these changes every month is subconsciously driving some accountability in me, possibly. Anyway, I think that does it for this little haul. Let me know what you thought of any of the books that I picked up, or if there's any that you're particularly excited for me to get to, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I think that will do it for me. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below, and I think that will do it. I hope you're having an absolutely lovely day today, and I will just talk to you soon.